What's up, guys? We're back for another live off the wall talking about, we just watched episode 2 of The Last of Us on HBO Max. I know this kind of goes without saying, but spoiler alert, not holding back for this one. Too much has happened at this point. First of all, thank you to everybody who watched our last one last week. And thank you to everybody for not spoiling shit in the comments for us from the game. Because I haven't played it. I have it, but I'm gonna, because it turns out, because I have the full-blown PS Plus membership, I just get it free. So
nice.
Free. I'm paying a couple $100 a year for it, but
included.
But I'm gonna wait till after the season is over to play it. So who knows? Maybe we'll throw that up on here. I haven't decided yet. That it's hard enough for us to just watch a show together, let alone do video game play alongs. But The Last of Us episode 2 just aired on HBO and HBO Max. And we're moving right along. We're not wasting time. We got 10 episodes, 9, 10. I think it was 9 or 10 to get through this whole thing. We got a lot of story to cover. And what I figured was going to happen eventually happened earlier than I thought it would. But RIP Tess. So yeah. Sol, what'd you think of this one off the bat?
Another banger of an episode. I like that we go back to 2003. I like that we're getting even more into the science and how these zombies, can you call them that, work?
Hey.
Yeah. We have more of the science at the beginning. We have a little bit more of the science with Tess giving, like, here are the rules. And it's not just like regular exposition. It's actually like does well. It's not like exposition for exposition's sake. A lot of scary moments. There was a lot of Soul doing this watching the episode, because just like that awful French kiss at the end, I did not watch that. But another banger of the episode, another just both the actress who plays Tess and Pedro Pascal are, and I like that we're seeing a little bit of humor from Ellie.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be that for us through the show. She's gonna be the snap back to reality for us. Like the world sucks, but it's like, but we, like lighten the hell up. Like there's so
also sound design too. Before I forget to, so good. Reminded me a lot of The Quiet Place.
This was very the be silent, not quiet, silent. Like he knew, like this is why we didn't want to go this way. It's life or death. And yeah, like you said, I really enjoyed them giving her the lay of the land, because when you're dealing with anything zombie, typically kids are going to be your Achilles heel. In a lot of horror movies, typically kids tend to be the problems. They cause a lot of problems. They get into shit they're not supposed to. They make noise. They're irresponsible. And I like that. She's grown up in this world.
Yeah,
she was born into this world. It had all started before she came along, because she's like 14. So
yeah.
So it was easy. It's easier for her to be like, hey, these are the rules. Follow them or you die. Like, it's pretty straightforward as my cat climbs into a gift bag in the back. And it just, anyway. Excellent use of kind of the Zombieland rules. It's just like, don't be a hero. You see something, you get behind us and shut up.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said too, we went back to 2003 at the beginning. We had a shows us the start in Indonesia, which we heard on the radio. And I love that they are having real scientists. Like in the first episode, we had the real scientists back in the 60s speaking about what could happen if the world were to get a little bit hotter. And then now we have this scientist that like says no medicine, no vaccine, bomb the city and everyone in it. And it
Like,
was just who that kind of just getting that from someone who's playing the scientist.
mm-hmm.
And then I love too that the people that I'm watching on YouTube that are breaking down these episodes were correct in a way, because they were
Yeah,
talking about flour, and apparently that's where it started in the flour pan. And they were like, notice how they didn't eat pancakes in the
yep,
morning yesterday. They didn't have the cake, but the granny had some biscuits.
yes, she did, and they were making cookies.
Yeah, and the reason she didn't eat the cookies is because there was raisins in them.
Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of how, because yeah, those are the ways funguses are going to spread. They're going to cling to something. You see it happen with plant life all the time.
Mm.
And yeah, the stuff at the beginning with the scientist in Indonesia, you know, in the first episode we had like a 20-minute introduction to kind of just our characters.
Yeah.
But we took a lot of time to do it because of, we also had to kind of establish what was going on. In
Mhm.
this one, we got like a 5-minute, maybe 5-7 minute introduction to that time period again, learning a little bit more. I wonder if we're going to get some of this in every episode where we kick everything off with the more that we're learning in the past, the more we're going to see that come into play in the well, it's 2023, so the present.
Yeah.
You know, she mentioned the whole there's no cure for this. This is what it is. It's going to spread. We see how that affects the modern world with
Mhm.
these tendrils go on for miles. You can touch one in one
Yeah.
city, you'll know about it in another city.
Right, and the fact too that she said bomb the city, and she's talking
Yeah,
about Indonesia, and then we learned that they also bombed Boston. And so it was like, "Oh, look at that, listening to a scientist. Who would
yeah.
have thunk it?"
Well, because we even know from the first episode, from what they were listening to, like in the background,
Mm.
that there was something going on
Mhm.
in Indonesia, but we don't know what. We're looking into it and seeing what the problem is, and they're talking about it. But also, like, yeah, the idea that a scientist, you know, scientists are the ones who say, like, you know, who are there to figure out what's the best solution. They're problem solvers at the end of the day.
Mhm.
For a scientist to look at a science problem and say, wipe it out, kill
Mhm.
everyone. Like, there is no other alternative. Either we
Right.
destroy all these people or we're fucked, which is what, you
Right.
know, from the 60s, we lose.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact too, speaking of vaccines and cures, it's taking Ellie out west because she's the cure. And we see
Yeah.
going to later in the episode, which I've really liked Tess. So I'm so sad that she's gone after this episode. But Tess really does believe that she is the cure. And I love how she was like, I never asked you for anything. I never asked you to feel the same way that I felt about you. But I am going to ask you this: take her to the scientist, because she really does believe. And that's kind of like her last words to Joel. And I could just, you could see the emotion of someone like telling the person that you love to like leave and do this for me, because I'm about to die.
Yeah. It's about, you know, I like Anna Torv a lot. She's very good in
Mhm.
Mindhunters. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Um, it is that kind of, because from my very, and I mean very limited knowledge of the contents of the game, I know that it's supposed to be just Joel and Ellie.
Mhm.
So I knew that Tess was gonna die at some point. I figured as much. I didn't think it would be this early. I thought maybe we get at least a
Mhm.
couple more episodes with her. Um, but whenever you watch a zombie attack and people are getting tackled multiple times, you're like, someone got bit.
Yeah.
Someone got bit.
Yeah.
Um, and it's also
And
interesting.
they kind of do the reverse thinking, oh, the only person who got bit was Ellie. They
Yeah,
kind of make you think, oh, yeah, someone got bit, but it was just Ellie, so everything's fine.
yeah, who cares? Yeah,
Yeah.
because we know that she's like, oh, it twisted my ankle. It's like, oh, okay. And plus, you figure her and Joel have been at this for so
Hmm.
long. If she got bit, she'd say, kill me now.
Right.
Like, hey, I'm bit. Here's the plan. End me.
Right.
Um, Waiting as long as we did, I mean, that's that's brave, because, you know, I mean, you got to figure they've been at this so long, they know how long it takes to take effect. So it could be perceived as informed, could be perceived as kind of careless. But also at that point, I think she was just like, we're so close. Let me just get them as far as I can, and then once we're there, we'll deal with it.
I'll
And
go die peacefully.
or violently
Yeah.
as we get here. After the worst makeout session I've ever. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to bring it up again, but I got to get it off my chest. That was.
I literally did this.
I was sitting there just like, what's he do? No, like I'm keeping it in the corner of my eye, but I'm like, I'm looking, but I'm not.
And like, know that flame is gonna go off, but you're like, fucking just go.
I don't know. For a minute there, I was thinking it wasn't gonna go off, and then they were gonna cut to black. Like episode 3, we're kicking off with run. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
I was just kind of glad it went up. I was like, I don't know if I don't need that right now. I don't need that stress hanging over me
for a week.
I mean, I know they're gonna make it, but that's a testament to how invested I am with this, because I know they're gonna make it, but like, I want to see them make it.
Exactly. Speaking to back to Ellie just being the comedic one, the fact that Joel and Tess are just eating some dry ass jerky and Ellie has a nice chicken sandwich.
She pulled that out and I was like, yo, I want that sandwich. Like, maybe you see these apocalypse sandwiches and they're just like, oh, it's what they got. I was like, no, that looks like a good ass sandwich. And even Tess is like, is that chicken? When she was getting up to walk over, I thought she was about to be like, give me a bite of that.
I thought she was gonna be like, come and split it up. It's my sandwich now.
Sharing that sandwich. You eat the jerky.
No, because she did tell her we're not good people, so she would definitely steal a sandwich from a child.
We're not taking candy from a baby. We're taking sandwiches from teenagers now. So it's interesting because now we know that we got to figure out a plan number 2. Because this was plan number 1. The place we were supposed to get to is gone. So now what? Do we keep going west?
Yeah, and they don't even have that sweet armored truck to drive in,
right?
Yeah.
What if the battery works? They could take the battery out. Probably not. After who knows how long it's been there. But yeah, it's plus you got to figure an explosion that big in such a crazy connected, like that's gonna attract attention.
Yeah.
Either 100%. Either from the infected or from Fedra.
Yeah, definitely. And so I have no idea where they're going. If that blast was able to, because we saw in the first episode that fire kind of like deals with them. It's kind of like the White Walker method in Game of Thrones. Just stick them in some fire.
Well, you got to figure they're in some way, shape, or form now partially, like they're a hybrid species. It's fungal.
Yeah.
So you got to figure that the fire probably, and since the fungus is essentially what's keeping them alive, so you got to figure the fungus probably, the fire kills the fungus, and then the husk is just kind of what's left over. So,
well, the fungus is definitely mutated from, which is why it can be in a human body, because a human body is 98.6 degrees in Fahrenheit. 37 Celsius. Yeah, I know. I used to be a nursing major. So they were saying that back in the 60s, that the reason why it's never been able in human bodies is because it can't go past 94 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
It's mutated to be able to withstand in a human body. But think of the temperature of fire.
Yeah.
It's not going to survive that.
It still can't handle heat at a certain level, and fire's pretty fucking hot. So so it seems like fire is a good way to go. We also see, I mean, these things are not easy to kill. They were taking axes and bullets to the face.
It has to be a headshot.
It's got to be a headshot, and you got to destroy it. Like it's not like a one and done.
In the chest, and they're fine.
Yeah, you gotta blow its fucking brains out for this thing to go down. So that's gonna be interesting to see how you fight these things. What I also, and I feel like this was either an Easter egg for something that we're gonna see or that we're not, and they were, but she was talking about, like, is it true there's zombies that their heads burst open and bats fly out, and or and we know that it's a zombie video game, so there's probably weird zombies in it. I played Left 4 Dead. There's the boomer and the witch and stuff like that. So you got to wonder, are these weird zombies just rumors, like fairy tales, basically, that we're not gonna see? Or are the rumors true and we're gonna see them? Because I can easily see the show being like, look, don't know how much this we can actually do in a TV show and have it be like taken seriously. So, you might have to make some adjustments and not have the bat head zombie. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't think there'll be bats. I can see definitely like you shooting or taking their head off and the spores flying from their head
Sure.
kind of thing. I don't think though there's gonna be bats.
Probably nothing that crazy. Yeah.
Nah.
That'd be weird. And because, yeah, but they could misinterpret anything for bats. But I wonder if
Yeah.
we're going to see some of these outlandish zombies. Because I've heard people say, like, they wonder if they're going to see, I think it's called like the clicker or something like that.
Well, we heard that clicking noise.
Oh, we did that. So maybe
Yeah.
that's what that was.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, sound design, this is reminding me of A Quiet Place because
Yeah.
he was saying they can't see, but they can hear, and I was like, this is when it wasn't you, it was Bogz and Sean Barito, our friend Sean Barito, who
Yeah.
made me watch A Quiet Place, which I actually enjoyed it, but I was getting
Very
a
good movie.
lot of Quiet Place where like, yeah, you have to be quiet. There's the noise element, the sound design. It was just really reminding me of that movie this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen both Quiet Place movies many times.
I've not seen the second.
It's
I
some of
hear
my
it's
favorite horror.
scarier.
It is.
The
It's
second
very
one.
scary. But that's some of my favorite horror because it's such a fresh idea. And yeah, with something like with a property like this, there's a lot you can pull from for inspiration and kind of get away with. I mean, we're dealing with zombie fungus, so sky's
I
kind of the limit.
wonder if because it's based on a video game, if this part is in the video game and A Quiet Place took from the video game.
I don't know. After we did our last live, over the next couple of days, a lot of videos started popping up on YouTube of people doing like side by sides of basically the opening 20 minutes with like the daughter, the game versus the show. And I hadn't seen these yet from last week, so I can tell you now that was like 99% verbatim. Like it is kind of ridiculous how close it was.
Well, the writer of the game is the writer of the show.
Absolutely. And so I'm glad that he was.
Hey, I don't have to work too hard. I just have to take the script I did for the video game
and just do it in a movie. Well, you got to know. Sometimes it's hard for like the creators of the original property to have that much influence.
Yeah,
a lot, especially because we're dealing with Warner Brothers Discovery, who we don't know a whole lot yet about how they handle. And this was made before that buyout, as far as I know. So, so I'm curious, but I mean, it's obvious that he's got a huge influence in it because other than just like some design things they couldn't replicate, like the layout of the land. You can't find a place in real life that's going to verbatim match what setting you built in a video game. But the dialogue, the atmosphere, the characterization, the events, it's almost night and day. So I wonder if we'll see more videos like that. I'm sure we will on YouTube of the side by sides, because ever since Bohemian Rhapsody, that's been such a big thing with doing the side, recreating these things. So I'll be curious to see if we see more of that.
And to just add some more Tess love, I laughed when she said, "You try climbing 10 fucking floors with our knees, see how you feel." And like I felt that in my soul because I have bad knees. I've had knee surgery on both of my knees as a child, so I was just like, yeah, 10 fucking floors with bad knees is not easy.
I'm sorry, 10 floors is not easy that's a lot of stairs. That's a lot of climbing, people. Like, Jesus.
Even for your 14-year-old ass Ellie, that's difficult.
Yeah, like I get it. Ellie is so great. Carrie is like, you got a cross on this? Yeah, I know it's scary. She's like, that was scary. This is wood.
Yeah, no, I love how exactly where if they didn't have all of that, she might have been like, oh, this rickety bridge. She's like, Yeah, fuck this. I'm walking. It's
especially
getting as far away from that building as I can.
if we're going to be spending as much time with her as we are. She's going to be lead number 2 on this show. So again, like an angsty teenager in a zombie apocalypse is a concept that handled poorly can get really bad really fast. So far, and I think a lot of this is due to how good Bella Ramsey is, but she's sassy but still charming.
Yeah.
And you can tell that she's just
She's
trying
still self-aware.
yeah, and she's as lost in the world as anybody else, probably more so. So she's
But yeah,
doing it
she's
very
still
well.
self-aware though. Like you
Yeah.
saw even when she's having a little fun in the hotel, like, and then she
Can I take
sees
your
the
luggage, ma'am?
yeah, she sees the dead body. She's self-aware when like these zombies are coming after her. She's still self-aware enough to know like, yeah, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and do what
Yeah.
I'm told.
When they start showing up and she's like, oh, what am I? Oh, that's right. Shut up and get behind them. And she's like, yeah, nope, out of my element. Because yeah, you
Yeah.
can give the kid a gun all you want, and the kid can talk up a lot of game. But when the chips are down, it's like, I'm gonna let the folks who know what the hell they're doing do what they're doing. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to not die. Because not
Yep.
dying is the ultimate goal.
Even in my notes, I wrote scary building.
Yeah. Oh man, hats off to the production design. Holy crap.
Yeah.
This world looks real and it looks fucked up. And it's so easy to do like destroyed cities and wrecked areas and have it look boring because you can just repeat a lot of tropes. They made this like, I want to know what the hell happened. You know, I see a building against another building. I want to know that story. Can I see that you know, a flashback, please? Like, I want to know it. The world looks so incredibly well, horrifically lived in. Shout out to that.
Yeah, it's the sound design, the set design, literally the entire design department, like in every aspect, did a phenomenal job on this episode.
Yeah, I don't really have any like criticisms or anything. I thought the pacing was excellent. It was nice that it was just under an hour.
Yeah.
Like last
After
week,
that last week episode, yeah.
I was fine with it, but I was also like, please don't be every week. It's fine for this. I don't need a 90-minute episode every week. Papa got stuff to do. So I was glad but I was still glad that we got to have what we did, and we just, like I said at the beginning, we just moved along. It's like we still got to meet Nick Offerman,
right?
We know he's coming, so I want to see what he's doing.
Some more Tess love, because like I got to give her all the love because we're not gonna have any more of her.
No.
The fact she was the smartest person in the room in the first episode, and she was still the smartest person in the room. So it's gonna be fun to see how Joel and Ellie survive without having someone like as smart as Tess there. And then also the fact that we find out after the fact that she got bitten and then like dies the way that she dies. But she was basically telling Joel to be positive. As she knows that she's about to die, she's telling Joel to be positive.
Yeah, because she knows what he's been through already. And so she's just like, I know how you are. I know how you can get, and I know how this is going to feel right now. You have got to keep going. You like there's too much at stake. With those last few minutes, she's like, look, she's clearly telling the truth. You got it. You like, there is an actual glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
It is up to you to do what you can. Like, at the very least, get them to, I think it was Bill.
Yeah.
Was the name?
But even the fact too, she was telling him to be positive even as they were leaving the building before they get to the center of town. So like she was even saying it back there, like, be positive.
Yeah, she was setting him up early, like, I'm about to wreck your world in a little bit. Start shaping the hell up, because
who knows how Joel actually feels about her, but we kind of find out that because he said too, I never ask you to feel the same way for me as I feel for you. So I felt that.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt to hear, because I was just like, Joel, love her, you bastard. I mean, don't kiss her now because it's fungus, but
Yeah.
But yeah,
And the fact too, I think you see even Joel like lighting up a little bit in some of the acting where he looks at his watch after looking at Ellie. And I
yeah,
think in a sense he was like, I couldn't save my daughter, but I could save Ellie. So it's like his body was deciding to save her and still go on with her even before his mind. Like his heart and his body was just like, yeah, this
yeah.
I gotta do what I can for this child because she's the not replacement, but kind of the
She's that.
embodiment of my
She's
daughter.
that surrogate daughter kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, absolutely. The conversation the two of them were having where the walls came down. They didn't come down at all, but like she's
Mm-hmm.
chipping away. Ellie's chipping away at those walls. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit. She got a couple of pebbles out of there.
And
Um,
Pedro Pascal's from Texas.
yeah. So I'm curious. I'm looking forward to seeing the development of this relationship, um, and seeing more of that come through. Seeing if Ellie has some way of rubbing off on Joel. Hoping we get to find Tommy and seeing because
Mm-hmm.
that's still that's playing that's the next mission. The
Yeah.
mission is it's deliver her and then go find Tommy. So I'm so curious and excited to see more because I'm so immersed in this world now, and that it cannot be overstated how much of that goes to the direction and the writing, but also just the performances of Pedro and Bella. It
Yeah.
absolutely absolute stardom on screen.
This show is so good that it's making me excited to watch it, even though I don't like scary things. Like there was several moments that I was like, nope, 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 not watching. Okay, it's
Yeah,
like,
but the simple fact that Soul is willing to watch this show is kind of a miracle in and of itself, because you don't do the scary things.
I do not.
So I don't have much else to say with this
Other
one
than
other
it's
than just
wonderful.
it's fantastic. It's a great show. I'm too in. The whole weekend I've been at my grandparents' house all weekend visiting family, and my mom, I texted her after I watched it, and she watched it too. She's a huge Walking Dead fan. So we talked about it the whole drive up, and then all weekend, every time we saw someone for family, have you guys watched The Last of Us yet? Like, you
Mhm.
seriously need to watch The Last of Us, like right now. Like, it's
Can,
normally
can we get a like a side mom review of the second episode?
yeah, she
she
will.
she
I
she won't go
I
on camera.
I have invited her to be a guest on my podcast so many times. She has no interest whatsoever. My mother's a
Is she
very
also Shay?
she's also a Shay, but she's also
Mama
shy.
Shay won't. Mama Shay won't come on. Oh,
No,
sad.
she's not a she does not like to be in the spotlight at all. So that's no. I'll get her thoughts and we'll well I'll say she loved last week's episode. So she probably hasn't seen tonight's yet because we were just driving back, but I'll get her thoughts for next week.
Can we put the camera on something else and just have your mom's voice?
That's not happening. There's no way. I am telling you, I've been barking up this tree for years. She has never budged. Don't think she ever will. She does not like
That
yeah,
face.
she's good. She's an artist, but she is not a visual, well, she's a graphic designer, so I guess she is a visual artist. But anyway,
She
yeah,
wants it
it's
on her art and not on her.
exactly. So can't wait to watch next week's. Can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. I'm so in. And I also just can't wait to finish this so I can play the game.
Well, if you do end up playing the game and it's a live thing, I will watch you play the game,
That's
but
great.
I probably will not be playing the game.
Oh, so I will say there was one, somebody had a criticism about the first episode. I think it was the best criticism I've ever heard,
Mhm.
which was this isn't very accurate to the game. Joel should have died 6 times by now. Because apparently the game is incredibly difficult, and the opening end of the world, like, you can die in, and it's really easy to do. So I'm kind of I thought that was the best criticism. Like, nope, Joel didn't die enough. 0 out of 10. Like, you know what? Respect.
So hopefully in the future we can see how many times you die as Joel.
So many. I am the most casual gamer on the face of the earth. I'm the worst. So I'm gonna die a lot. We'll just do a compilation of all the
What
times.
what device does Boggs have?
Gaming wise, I have no idea.
Because I know he played the Star Wars game. Maybe we can convince him to play it as well.
Maybe we'll see. I don't know what he has actually. I'll be curious to find out. So yeah, I'm so into this world. Let's get to more of it. We love to hear from you guys, so please let us know what you think down in the comments. No spoilers from the game, please. I will physically fight you if you spoil this for me. I'm not.
I mean, you could spoil the stuff that happened in episode 1 and this episode, but nothing further.
Yeah, don't spoil the end of it. I will find you, and I will come to your house, and I will drop a deuce on your front doorstep. Like, do not. I have no patience for that kind of thing.
And it's too early for Mr. Hanky the Christmas
It is far too early. It is just, guys, come on. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you hanging out with us live. We're going to do a live reaction, God willing, every Sunday after the episode. And yeah, looking forward to it. Can't wait. Let's explore the end of the world together, kids. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, find us on Twitter, and we will see you guys again here next time on Off the Wall. Bye.